Hey everybody, welcome to Trending. Today is Wednesday, March 9th, and it's Wednesday.
All day long.
It will be March 9th all day long. We usually do this on Thursdays, Joe.
Right, that's right.
I'm out of the office all day tomorrow and Friday, so we're squeezing this in.
Yeah.
Kind of a messing up our schedule a little bit, but I'm kind of glad because we got some good topics today.
There are still things trending on Wednesdays.
There's still things trending.
Who would have known it?
Who would have known? Twitter and Google are still around today.
That's right. They have no Sabbath. Shame on them.
True. And we got some good ones today, so I'm really excited. Okay, and I don't usually do this, but stay tuned for our last topic. If you don't always watch the full episode today, I encourage you. The last one is going to be a fun one. So if we get some stuff in the middle you don't care about, just scrub, fast forward. I encourage you to watch the whole thing, of course. We want you to watch the whole show.
Right, that's right.
But if you can't make it through the whole show, at least watch the last one because I think we're going to have some fun with the last one today.
Oh my goodness. Interest
Ting it up. I hope you're on the edge of your seat with anticipation.
That's right.
But before we get to just a kind of a fun one, we got just kind of some normal stuff to hit on today. So number one topic, the NFL world is going crazy today, yesterday.
Yes.
The biggest news yesterday was Russell Wilson got traded.
I know.
So he is now a member of the Denver Broncos, or at least he will be. So that's a big story. And then the other part of that is Aaron Rodgers obviously didn't land in Denver, so he's going to stay in Green Bay.
Yes.
You're a Green Bay guy.
That's right.
I saw today that there's a little bit of brouhaha brewing that maybe Rodgers hasn't actually signed a contract yet, so some of the numbers that were floating around might not actually be accurate.
Oh my goodness.
So who knows? But he will play for the Packers next year. We're not sure how much he's going to be paid.
Yeah.
But it'll be a lot of money.
It's going to be a lot of money, and I feel like I heard the news that they tagged Adams as well, because I kind of feel like with this contract for Rodgers, they're going to be able to pay everybody. And
He's
it looks
getting
like,
a lot of money.
I know. I think it's going to be he and Adams and then a bunch of castaways.
Could be.
And it might have to be that way, so we'll see how that works out for us. Probably not very good.
And I was thinking, the rumors are what, $50 million a season?
So he's getting an extension, I think. So
Right.
I think he's got a year. This is an extension, so like that money's going to be a year from now available to him. That's crazy.
And Rodgers is one of the faces of State Farm, right? Mm-hmm. So we got Paul Brooks. We've got Gene Hildebrandt.
That's right.
I think we don't need to give Rodgers the Rodgers rate anymore.
Hey, Jake from State Farm, man. Thanks again for the Rogers rate on my insurance.
No.
I think he can afford full coverage.
Even with inflation, he's going to be all right.
He's going to be okay. So,
I mean, he's not cutting his hair.
Yes.
His engagement's
He's going to
off,
save dollars a month by not cutting his hair.
That's right.
So I think we can stop giving him a discount.
That's right.
I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, why don't you get some discounts to the other people? You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay, how do you feel about Russell Wilson in Denver?
I think it's a good fit. They did have to trade Noah Fant, which is obviously a big target for the Broncos. Man, the AFC West has got now loaded with great quarterbacks.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be fun.
Yep.
So I think if you're a Chiefs fan, which I think that's in right now. Mm-hmm. Sometimes not, sometimes it is.
Right.
Right. But I think Chiefs fans, it'd be interesting to see what they think about it. I do think it makes them better. Mm-hmm. And you got to play them twice.
Yep.
So we'll see how it all goes down.
Yep. All right. Well, there's a lot of NFL news. There's still a lot of big news that will happen. So I'm sure that will continue to be a thing over the next few weeks.
Right.
Another short sports story, but it's only kind of a sports story. Will Ferrell is trending this morning. Did you see these clips going around?
Yes, man.
So Will Ferrell, I have to confess, I actually haven't seen Semi-Pro. Have you seen Semi-Pro?
I have. Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Yes.
So there's a movie that came out, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, where he plays like a 70s or 80s ABA, kind of the hike up shorts, the big fro, just that era of basketball.
Ugly basketball.
A fun character. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while he kind of shows up in that persona, right?
Yeah.
And so the Golden State Warriors, which I'm a fan, I think you're not so much a fan of the Warriors.
I mean, they were awful boastful.
Yes.
So much hubris
Yes.
when Kevin Durant was there. I think Steph Curry's kind of growing on me.
Yeah.
But for a while there, I'm like, it was nauseating.
Yes.
So, but anyways,
One thing I like.
a little better now.
Yes, and so they were in this kind of skid where they lost 5 games in a row.
Right.
And the story goes that Will Ferrell emailed Steve Kerr.
Oh, wow.
I was like, hey, can I come just hang out and cheer up the guys a little bit?
Yeah.
So there's all these videos of him playing around. He kind of targeted Klay Thompson, which I think is just kind of funny.
Yeah, that's right.
And during warm-ups, he was just kind of messing with Klay. And
Yes.
he's out there throwing up shots at half court and kicking the ball over to Curry, and he shoots a 3.
That's right.
So just having some fun before the game. And then they won. They kind of broke their losing streak and came out with a win.
I mean, didn't they beat the Clippers?
Yep.
I mean, mean, about everybody but the Lakers are beating the Clippers.
Right. True.
Since Kawhi's still on like load management, I guess.
Yep.
All season long.
I love stuff like that. I love when
Yes.
pop culture and sports kind of merge and like
Yes.
silly little things pop up in the world of news and sports, whatever. And this time it actually seemed to kind of help the team a little bit. So anyway, I love those kinds of stories.
I feel like Will Ferrell is the court jester, right?
Yes.
And that's a delicate balance. The court jester can make fun of the king, but not too much so he doesn't get thrown out of the court.
Right.
I feel like Will Ferrell pops up, and he's just got this great discernment about what he can do, how he does it, and goes about his business. I think he's great.
I think so too.
If it turns out, I've learned, like, sometimes it's not good to meet your heroes. You know, so like if it would turn out like you meet him in person, maybe be a letdown. But I honestly think Will Ferrell would be a great hang.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
He pops up and does the most absurd, strange things. He can sometimes be a little too risque, and he kind of tiptoes that line sometimes. But I think he's often really good at. It's not inappropriate. It's just like silly.
That's right.
And I love silliness.
That's right.
Especially when it's like out of the blue, totally unnecessary. And he has mastered that. So I love it.
I think one of the greatest things he's ever did. So he did a drum battle with the guy from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes,
Fallon
because they look very similar.
Yes, they do. And it's a hilarious skit. So when my kids were younger, we would tend to like read before bed, and then they would watch like one video or two videos before they went to bed.
Yep.
We watched that video probably every night for a couple of months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever, because we just would laugh so hysterically at it all. It was great.
He's brilliant. We could probably spend an entire training episode talking about our favorite Will Ferrell moments.
That's right. We got the special thing at the end, so we
got to keep moving. There's a lot more coming.
Sorry to digress.
So. More Will Ferrell, maybe a different day.
Yeah, there we go.
I got my dance on.
Okay, kind of an interesting one. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi is trending this morning.
Okay.
So there's a new Disney Plus show about that character.
Okay.
I think it's coming out soon. But I want to talk about this for kind of two reasons.
Okay.
First of all, people know that I love Marvel.
Okay.
And so I think people just think I love Star Wars.
Right.
I'm really not a Star Wars guy. Like, are you into Star Wars?
True confession from
I know.
Matt Airsman here. Holy smokes.
I enjoy Star Wars,
I'm
but
gonna
I'm just
need
not,
a minute after that.
I know.
man.
I know I'm blowing people's minds. But I enjoy them. I'm just not like a super fan. How do you feel about Star Wars?
Right. Like, I'm not a spaz about Star Wars. I think it's fun watching it with your kids. So maybe you'll circle back to them when your girls get older and you start watching them together.
Yep.
I kind of like the ones that they're doing now. So my favorite Star Wars is actually Rogue One.
Okay.
I like the main character, the heroine in that show. I kind of feel like Luke Skywalker's a bit whiny. It's a little nauseating. Like, I don't really get the Darth Vader slide. Like, I didn't get into all of that stuff, but I feel like these ones, the Han Solo movie wasn't great, but like Rogue One and then the stuff they're doing now, like the newest stuff, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But we're working our way through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and a lot of these Marvel movies are better than the Star Wars movies. Like, this is better plot, like better, like, I don't know, this better morals of the story than the stuff that Star Wars can crank out. But Rogue One is like probably one of my top 10 favorite movies.
Okay.
Just
It's
ever.
good.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
One more quick thing about the Star Wars show I wanted to talk about. So it's Ewan McGregor plays him, obviously. And so he's on the cover of the new issue of Entertainment Weekly.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting. Side note is this issue of Entertainment Weekly with Ewan McGregor on the cover is their final print edition.
Whoa.
They're moving all online.
Wow.
Pretty big publication.
Yeah.
And that's the trend, right? A lot of these magazines are going online only.
Right.
I follow Relevant pretty closely, Relevant magazine. They went digital. And one interesting thing they said is if you get rid of all your pretense of like what a magazine is, like if you were going to make a magazine this year without any previous knowledge of what a magazine is, it is kind of silly to think that you would print on like 50 pieces of paper and mail it to someone.
Yeah.
Like that is, if you take time to think about it, it is kind of a weird idea.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I like physical media. Like for magazines and books, I still prefer print copies. I think you do too.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of weird. We're in this era where more and more stuff's going digital.
Yeah.
More and more magazines are either dying off or going digital.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I think it's true. I mean, I get Christianity Today and a couple other magazines, and I just noticed like how many more ads are in it because they have to find a way to grow their companies too. And I'm like, this is really kind of frustrating that you can't even get to an article anymore. Lynn Sweet said something kind of interesting years ago. He's like, we're actually returning to the scroll. He's like, scrolls used to be the main medium for content in the ancient world.
Yep.
we went to this page turning thing, but now with like Kindle and with reading online, we're going back to the scroll.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's kind of an interesting thing how things kind of boomerang back
Yep.
in the way that we even take in information. And so you're right. I feel like a magazine comes into the mail now. I could easily think that it's just like a Costco ad or
Yeah.
like the Oriental Trading thing that just
Right.
automatically boof, goes into recycle, right? And so I do think that it is an interesting. We're seeing it now that people are just taking in content differently, and I think this is going to escalate from here.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to be reading much more. I think that people are always going to be literate, but I do think people are preferring a short video, the snackable short video,
Yep.
than they are even like the long form of an article, even digitally on a screen. So it'll be interesting to see what we do from here.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, one more kind of short news story, then we'll get to the one I'm excited to talk about. So,
Okay.
This morning, crypto is trending again.
It is, man.
But kind of for an interesting reason.
Yeah.
So I think this hasn't officially happened yet, but the rumors are that Biden's going to have some kind of executive order that's going to somehow regulate Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And when those rumors started spreading, Bitcoin jumped, I think, like 9% overnight. And so it's kind of in the conversation. And it's really interesting because of Russia and Ukraine, because of the instability over there. A lot of people in that part of the world are converting their currency to crypto. And now I think that's kind of led people to be like, okay, well, if this is going to be this big of a worldwide thing, we might need to actually regulate it. And that's what has kind of been keeping people away from it, is that it's unregulated.
Right.
So it could blow up here soon, right? Are you following that?
Just a little bit. I mean, but I think that Bitcoin took a dive within the last month or so. So the fact that it's kind of perking back up is probably a natural thing. I think crypto is going to be interesting because different currency is regulated by governments. One of the allures of cryptocurrency is that it can kind of transcend borders without that regulation. And so I think it's a whole lot like with Amazon not being able to charge sales tax, for so long. Like they were able just to kind of float it without it. And then people came in and started regulating that. I just think these things catch up. So I think regulation does tend to catch up with innovation. And it's probably a net gain overall so that people aren't taken advantage of. So I guess it's not a surprise. I think it was a surprise how it came out because wasn't it Blinken who one of Biden's...
It was one of the secretaries. I'm not sure who
Yeah, like he leaked it out. Unfortunately, and
yes.
so people, but maybe he did it on purpose, but he acted like it was unintentional.
Right.
Who knows?
Yep.
About all that stuff, but yeah, interesting.
Anyway, I feel like
do you still have your like?
I checked this morning,
Yes.
so I put in my free $10 probably a year ago.
That's right.
And I think I currently have like 970 or something. So it dropped a lot, but then it picked back up last night. So
Yes.
I've got about a little less than $10 of my free crypto. So
I still have nothing. I mean, I think I have more like old tickets from skee ball than I do cryptocurrency
Nice.
right now. I kind of feel like they're worth about the same thing.
it could
Anyways.
be. It could be.
All right.
Okay, you ready for the last one today?
Let's do it, man.
Okay, so I know you keep up with trends and just weird internet stuff, like we all do, I think. So have you heard about the wheel versus doors? Have you heard about this?
No.
Okay. I don't think this is going to be quite as big as Wordle,
Okay.
but there's these rumblings that this is kind of do you remember the whole what color is the dress thing from a
Yes.
few years ago? This is kind of the next one of those, I think.
Okay.
So there's this weird internet thing where some guy who I don't remember his name, but he has like 2,000 Twitter followers, so not a huge following. He says, "Hey, I'm having a weird debate with my friends. Do you think there are more wheels or doors in the world?"
Oh man.
And he put out a Twitter poll.
Wow.
And it just blew up. It's getting like tens of thousands, maybe close to millions of responses.
Wow.
And now if you just Google that or search for it somewhere, you can see people just like getting really into it about are there more doors or wheels? And they're like, well, wait a minute. Think about all the skyscrapers.
Yeah.
There's so many hotels and big buildings, and each floor has so many doors.
Right.
But each one of those doors probably has an office chair. And every office chair has 4 wheels.
Oh, yes.
And what about cars? There's 4 wheels. How many doors are there? So, before putting too much thought into it, what do you think? Do you think there are more wheels or more doors in the world?
Man, I think there's probably more wheels because they tend to come in multiples. I mean, doors do as well.
Right.
I mean, every house has got several rooms.
Yep.
But like every vehicle's got 4 wheels, at least, right?
Yep.
So we lived in Atlanta for a while.
What about bicycles? Motorcycles.
Okay, they got
Scooters.
I understand.
Skateboards.
I know, multiples. But when we were in Atlanta, so when we had to apply to get a vehicle tagged in Atlanta, they were trying to give little subtle checks. They said, at the top of the form, it was like 1.5 million miles are driven every single day on Atlanta roads.
Wow.
They have mass transit and stuff,
Yep.
but like, and still, like, imagine that, like 1.5 million miles with vehicles on roads. So I think wheels.
Okay, well, mass transit, trains, lots of doors, no wheels.
They have wheels.
But some of them are like, I don't know, trains.
Does it have to be like a rubber?
I don't know.
To be a tire? Does it have to have a tire, or like are wheels just?
I
like,
guess like wheel bearings and stuff. I don't know.
don't
Okay, here's
know.
another mind blower though. Okay.
All right.
What someone said, what about advent calendars? Think about how many advent calendars there are in the world. A lot of doors, no wheels.
Totally Jesus juked this internet phenomenon right now. I think like the thing underneath the thing here is this guy probably thought about this in the shower, at a stoplight, in between bench press sets at the gym. Who knows? He's
Right.
like, I kind of wonder. And then he kind of put it out there. Next thing you know, he's like in the middle of the greatest internet controversy and phenomenon in the world right now.
I love the internet for things like this.
And mom and dad are proud.
Yes. I feel like wheels is the obvious answer, but the more you think about it, the more you start to trick your brain, I think.
So I think that we need to get Kyle Goings on this because
Okay.
In years past in the Amazing Race, like one of the questions his high school students had to answer is how many like toilets are in the church building.
Yes, correct.
So like maybe he could like, I don't know, add the tires, wheels, and doors.
Yeah.
Question to the next Amazing Race.
I think it would be very interesting. In our building, are there more doors or wheels?
Yeah. So if you're a high school student, you could get a jump for
Yes.
your team in next year's Amazing Race by start counting all the doors.
Yeah. I think we're onto something.
Man, we're just trying. Trending is helpful.
Yes.
High
We're
school
just trying to
student-
help.
High school students, Johnny or Jane out there, we're just trying to help you out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And we want to hear from you. More. What do you think? Doors or wheels? Let us know what you think. And if you have some mind-blowing Advent calendar-esque thing that we need to think about, let us know.
Yeah,
and we'll keep an eye on the comments and see if we think there are more wheels or doors in the world. Okay.
I'm gonna think about it all day.
I know. Once you start thinking about it, it's hard to stop thinking about it.
I wonder what Jackie Moon would say about wheels versus doors. I wonder what he'd say.
It's a great question. How much crypto does Jackie Moon have? Probably a lot.
He can stack it. Do you stack crypto? Who knows?
Who knows?
It's in the blockchain.
It's in the blockchain.
You chain it together.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. Let us know what you think, and have a great rest of the week. It's Wednesday, so we'll see you next Thursday
Next Thursday
for another episode. So,
all right.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.
See you later.